In the bustling heart of Northridge Logistics, a quiet achiever named Elias once found himself at the epicenter of a corporate power struggle that would redefine the very meaning of efficiency. His unwavering dedication had propelled him from the warehouse floor to a position of leadership, transforming him from a simple forklift operator into a master of the logistical ballet. But when a new manager arrived, wielding strict corporate policies like a blunt instrument, Elias faced a choice: conform and watch his workplace crumble, or ingeniously defy and expose a system that prioritized rigid rules over practical results. This isn't just a story about a promotion. It's about a man who, by doing absolutely nothing, brought an entire operation to its knees, only to rebuild it stronger than ever. The scent of dust and diesel was Elias's everyday perfume, a testament to nearly 2 years spent within the vast expanse of Northridge Logistics. He started at the bottom, a greenhorn in receiving, his days a rhythmic dance of heavy crates, scanning barcodes, and the precise ballet of forklifts. It was a simple, honest life, enriched by a camaraderie among his crew, a small band of brothers who toiled, cursed good-naturedly, and ensured the company's continuous hum. Elias wasn't merely good at his job, he was exceptional, possessing a tireless work ethic and a quiet, steely determination that undeniably set him apart. Management quickly took notice. His ascent was swift, almost a dizzying blur. First, a meeting with 3 suits, more an inquisition than a job offer, or so it seemed. Then, a whirlwind of training, mastering every piece of heavy machinery in the sprawling facility. Within mere months, he not only secured a significant pay raise, but also earned the title of lead for the receiving department, a critical role where he ensured the seamless flow of incoming goods. He excelled, injecting an efficiency the department hadn't witnessed in years. His success continued its upward trajectory, leading to another promotion, a transfer to the order fulfillment department, an entirely different beast, where brute force yielded to speed and precision. The pace was relentless, an unending torrent of orders and manifests. Initially, Elias struggled, the sheer volume threatening to engulf him, but defeat was not in his vocabulary. He committed himself to this new role, staying late, arriving early, meticulously unraveling the department's complex systems. Eventually, he found his rhythm, not just keeping pace, but consistently clearing his entire workload before the day's end, a feat previously unheard of. His bosses, from the floor manager to the regional director, were beyond ecstatic. For 4 months, this new system operated flawlessly. Elias was a perfectly calibrated machine, completing his tasks with time to spare and frequently extending a helping hand to the perpetually swamped receiving department. He felt a profound sense of pride in his work, in the genuine gratitude from his former colleagues, and in the unwavering trust his superiors placed in him. But then, change arrived. His direct supervisor, a seasoned veteran named Alistair, departed for a new position at another facility. His replacement, a man named Sterling, was a newcomer to the industry, fresh from a corporate training program. Sterling was a whirlwind of grand ideas and rigid protocols, a stark contrast to Alistair's practical, hands-on flexibility. The new policy was implemented on a Friday. Elias had already completed his 40 hours for the week, and his department was entirely caught up. He was more than happy to assist the receiving crew, who were chronically understaffed and overwhelmed. It was during his shift on the receiving floor that Sterling summoned him to his office. "Elias," Sterling began, his voice a smooth, confident drone. "I've been observing your work and I'm genuinely impressed. Your dedication is a tremendous asset." Elias felt a quiet satisfaction. This was the well-deserved praise he had strived for. But then Sterling's tone abruptly shifted. "However," he continued, "I've noticed a pattern. I would prefer to see you in your own department on Fridays, not mingling with your friends and receiving." Elias was genuinely taken aback. He attempted to clarify the situation, that his work was complete, that he was merely being a team player, but Sterling wasn't listening, cutting him off with a dismissive wave of his hand. "Elias, I need you to understand something," Sterling asserted, his voice now a firm command. "Your friends have their job and you have yours. I do not want you performing work outside of your designated title. It creates a false impression of our staffing needs." Knowing that this absurd directive would inevitably make him a target for ridicule among his colleagues, Elias experienced a sudden, profound flash of insight. "Could you
put that in an email for me?" he asked, his tone polite but unyielding. Sterling, completely oblivious to the deeper implications of the request, readily agreed. The email arrived minutes later, a short, terse message unequivocally confirming the new policy. Elias promptly forwarded it to his personal account, a small but crucial insurance policy tucked securely in his inbox. For the remainder of the day, he sat calmly at his desk in his department, a strange serenity washing over him. He did precisely as he was told, the clock's steady tick accompanying his leisurely scrolling through his phone, catching up with family and friends. That week, the receiving department began its slow, inevitable descent into chaos. Without Elias's crucial assistance, the backlog swelled from a minor inconvenience into a full-blown crisis. Trucks accumulated, their frustrated drivers fuming in the lot as the warehouse struggled desperately to find space for the burgeoning inventory. The other leads and managers began to call him, their voices laced with escalating frustration and desperation. "Elias, you have to help them," one pleaded. "We are absolutely drowning." He simply forwarded them Sterling's official email. "My job title is firm in its description," he calmly replied. For the next 2 weeks, he held his ground, resolute. A new department transfer was already on his horizon, a position promising a better boss and a more manageable workload. The old facility, with its spiraling chaos, was now exclusively Sterling's problem. The disorder amplified exponentially, reaching a level of complete dysfunction that eventually captured the undivided attention of the facility owner, a man notoriously known for his fiery temper. The owner's unexpected visit was akin to a hurricane sweeping through the facility. He stormed through the warehouse, his face a mask of utter disbelief as he surveyed the mountainous piles of unfulfilled orders. He immediately convened a meeting with all employees possessing access to the inventory software, including Elias, who had by now just begun his new, quieter role. The owner announced they would be hiring temporary help to rectify the colossal mess, but the most significant news was saved for last. Sterling had resigned. His position would be filled by someone from within the company. The new manager was Adrian, a humble and highly respected floor supervisor who had dedicated years to Northridge Logistics. He was precisely the kind of steady, capable leader the warehouse so desperately needed. Within a single week, Adrian had almost single-handedly righted the ship, his intimate knowledge of the operation allowing him to clear the daunting backlog and meticulously restore order. Adrian's very first act as manager was to summon Elias to his office. "Elias," he said, a genuine, warm smile spreading across his face, "I need you back in the warehouse. We desperately need a new lead, a true master of our inventory system, someone who can ensure the entire building runs with unparalleled smoothness." He offered Elias a new title, a significant promotion, and a salary that was nearly double his current pay. Elias would no longer be confined to a single department. He would become the central hub, the lifeblood of the entire operation, his work feeding itself directly and efficiently through the entire system. Elias accepted without a moment's hesitation. He walked out of that meeting a profoundly changed man. The preceding chaos had been a crucible, a long and arduous trial, but he had emerged undeniably victorious. He hadn't simply regained his job, he had been given an extraordinary opportunity to build something vastly superior, to lead with the very principles he had staunchly defended: respect, unwavering hard work, and the profound understanding that, sometimes, the most effective way to help the team is to resolutely stand your ground.